Today, I've taken it upon myself to clean the nasty streets of Type Soul. There's been a ton of dirty people that just stank up the whole community, so I've conducted my own research study to find the nastiest builds out there. I've gone into ranked and clan wars, and I've taken note of every build that filled the map with a green stench aura. I'll be putting them on a tier list and ranking them from C to triple S based on my completely biased and arbitrary ruling. So don't get upset when I tell you that your build reeks of BO. Just keep in mind, there's a lot that goes into the stink factor of a build. And since there's so many things that just shouldn't be in Type Soul, there's gonna be a couple things that don't make it onto the list because I don't want this to take too long. Of course, as I said before, I'm extremely biased, so a lot of you are probably gonna disagree with me. If I missed a stinker that y'all think you should have been on the list, then let me know in the comments. Also, before we begin, bonus stinker points if you got a custom clothing token just for you to dress like Misery. Subscribe for your hazmat suit and gas mask, gear up, and let's get to cleaning. Alright, so let's start off with a simple, notorious stinker. This was one of the most prominent builds in Clan Wars, definitely died off now though, and that build is Kyoka Kido. You know how New York has one of the world's worst rat problems? That was basically Clan Wars with Kyoka Kido. You were damn near guaranteed to run into at least one of them each time you decided to play, and who knows how many diseases they were carrying. Now my main problem wasn't about the build being too hard to beat, because they were freer than ever. What pisses me off is how much they rely on their clone just to be annoying. 90% of the time the clone dies immediately because it just sits there doing nothing. But when that 10% hits you, it hits you like a truck. The clone starts doing tricks that the human race has never seen before. Pretty awful to go against, but it's really not too terrible once you understand how SR Kido plays. The worst part is running a marathon to try and catch these rodents. For all of that, I think they deserve a high S on the stink meter. Next, we've got a fairly new stinker build, Confusion Hakuda. Now honestly, you don't see it very often at all. It's pretty underground if you ask me. And I hadn't really thought about it until I recently played against it in ranked, and it actually made me want to quit the game. I didn't even remember to clip it because I was so heated. The most annoying part about the build isn't even what the players do themselves. It's the dodges that they get whenever they hit you with a certain move. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what happened to me, but I ended up getting Raging Demon and I immediately left the game. So it was enough of a terrible experience to make it on the list. Definitely a nasty one, but I never see it, thank the Lord, so I'll put it in C tier for now. Now get your nose clips, because we're going to be talking about one of the smelliest things on this list. Plug up your noses beforehand, because that stench will hit you just by mentioning it. If you happen to spot any Scythe user, contact pest control immediately. There is not another weapon in the game that boosts people as much as Scythe does. And unfortunately, this abomination of a weapon was made by Chaotic. Can someone please put Unk in a retirement home? Because he's clearly past his prime developing. Even Cetro knew that this Scythe shit is absolute garbage for the game. But since it's Chaotic's decision, he couldn't do anything about it. I don't really have to say much about this because I'm sure my opinion is shared throughout most of the community. But I'ma shit on it anyways. Absolutely disgusting range, the stun time is ridiculous, and it slows down your flash step too for whatever reason. Whatever Chaotic was smoking while making this must be stronger than fentanyl, because I don't think anyone could come up with this rework sober. Triple S stink tier, if you use this weapon you will not be accepted into the gates of heaven. End of story. Now let's talk about charge variant, specifically Kido. If you play this, I hate to say it, but I do not like it. Charge variant changes what 80% of the moves do, and at this point within the game, I am too tired to relearn how to fight against it. The worst I've had it was in ranked, fighting a Shark Charge variant Kido player who thinks he's Usain Bolt running around the map for 5 minutes straight. It was so depressing that just that one experience makes me want to put this shit in S tier. It's not that bad most of the time, but when the max prestige shower dodgers come out of hiding and into your ranked games to play Charge variant Kido, it just makes me want to Alt F4. So at this point, you should start to see a trend with Kido. I'm not too keen about the people that actually main these builds. Anyways, we can talk about the last Kido build that I'll be mentioning on this list, Quincy Kido. So I wrote the script a bit ago, and I previously had it at C tier. Obviously that's changed. There has only been one other update to this game that has pissed me off this bad. Nuovo must have had an anvil dropped on his head while making this. I haven't touched Quincy Kido for months, so I don't know what any of the moves are called, so just bear with me. But there's just too many strings where they can just spam moves without punishment. I want someone to let me know, for what reason does Quincy Kido need to have 2 TPs that go behind you? It plays like speed, but at the same time can snipe you like JFK. If I were to take a poll throughout the entire Type Soul community and ask each and every one of them if they had an enjoyable experience playing against the new Quincy Kido once, I'm sure we all know what the results would be. And the people who play Quincy Kido know that the only reason they have fun on the build is because they know that the person they're fighting is just losing the will to live looking at 800 auto-tracking arrows heading his way on the other side of the screen. The worst part about it all is that Cetro, the only person I know who was against Quincy Kido, is now booted off the team. You know guys, as much as it hurts to say, I think I'm starting to miss him. Anyways, you already know, immediate triple S stink tier for any Quincy Kido player. That's enough about Kido though, let's talk about a specific weapon. It's about Quincy's again though, and it's caused me a considerable amount of suffering. One of the only 3 weapons on this list is Zweis. As soon as this thing dropped, every Quincy on earth immediately caught this thing. Any person who has this weapon equipped immediately wilts any flower that they walk by. The main problem is that the weapon is really good. A little too good. And that makes people look and feel a lot better than they should be. And you can't really refute that, as for at least like 2 weeks, there was a bug where even if you parried the crit, you still get hit for half of the move and then get comboed into something else. I don't even want to know how that bug is possible to miss and leave for that long, but that's for another video I guess. Anyways, it's not the absolute worst to go against, but it's definitely an elo booster. We'll give it a B for now, not too bad but not too good either. The next weapon we'll talk about is the Piety. Now, I'm gonna get this out of the way immediately. This weapon is some hot ass. I have never seen it in a situation where it's actually done something that any other weapon doesn't do better. The only reason I put it into this list is because how shocked I am whenever I see people use this thing within Clan Wars. 100% of the time, they're either sitting all the way in the back spamming the ranged crit or on the floor dead. They wasted all their rerolls on a mythical that's worse than most of the commons, and honestly, that has its own stench value within itself. Obviously, it's not annoying to fight, just annoying to see. C tier stinkiness. Last but not least, we have ice pressure shift players. Now, I only started seeing this recently, but honest to God, I hate every single last one of them. This is a special build since usually counters share cooldowns, but for some reason, pressure shift and ice counter don't share cooldowns. So they can just use them right after the other whenever they get caught out. I think I can speak for most players when I say that getting ragdolled every other 2 seconds is not my favorite way to play Type Soul. Thankfully though, it's not crazy prominent right now, but man, I cannot stand people who use this shit. S tier stench, get this shit out of my face, man. Okay, I think we got most of it. Make sure to shower for at least 8 hours to get rid of the smell completely once you get home. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed helping me clean up the Type Soul streets. Let me know if I should make a part 2 for this series, because I really did enjoy making this video. Sub up if you want to see more, follow the Twitch because I'm goated, you know, and I'll see y'all later.